A lot of us struggle with this virus is because we do not believe and we don't accept ourselves. So how do we expect anything to change with anybody that comes to us or try to even have anybody to accept us? I want you to focus on today. Focus on accepting yourself. And you're thinking like, Belize, it ain't no way I can accept this. It ain't no way nobody gonna want me. It ain't no way. You right. Keep on saying it. You right. Nobody gonna want you. Nobody gonna want to deal with you. Nobody want to deal with somebody who is so in pity. Nobody wants to deal with somebody who is always down. Nobody want to deal with nobody who don't want to move forward. And I'm going to be real because I have it, so I have the right to say these things to you. Nobody want to live with or be with somebody who's always depressed about them living with herpes. If somebody want to be with you, they want you and that person, they want you and them to move forward and have a normal life. But if you're making it bigger of a deal than it needs to be, then nobody want to deal with it. Nobody want to deal with it. My whole thing is, if you met somebody like you, will you want to be with them? If they say, hey, I have herpes, and you seen how they were acting, like you're acting, would you want to be with them? Most of y'all would say, hell no, I don't want to be with that. They're miserable. They're always sad. They don't want to move forward. They don't want to do this. My whole thing is, you got to be the person you want to be with. I'm going to be honest. Half of y'all, nobody want to be with you just because of your behavior, just because of your emotional state, just because of your spiritual state, just because of your physical state, not because you have herpes. It's just the fact that you are not mentally, emotionally, and spiritually stable, and they don't want to deal with it. It's not because of herpes. A lot of us make it seem like that. Sometimes that's what it is, but if it's for many other guys or many other girls, sometimes it's like, it's just how you handling it. If it's that bad, God darn it, I don't want to take the risk of being around it or even contract it, because if it's going to make me, be like you, I don't want to deal with it. And that's not to say it's the reason why a lot of people don't accept it. Yeah, it is a risk. Nobody wants to accept the STD. Nobody wants to live with an STD. But the way you display it and the way you carry yourself makes a huge difference. I had a young guy. Well, he wasn't young. He's older than me. But I had an older guy reach out to me. I met him in an Uber. And he was 35. At that time, I was 28. I was just coming out of my marriage, whatever. I was separated, and the guy reached out to me. We was in the car, and we was talking and things of that nature. And he was like, oh, you cool, whatever. So we started talking. At that point, I was just like, I'm out the house. It's nothing wrong with having friends. So at that time, I gave him my number. I didn't talk to him right off. Like, I met him in May. I didn't reach back out to him till July. So I was like, well, I don't think he really interested. I ain't really on that. I was just trying to get everything situated pertaining to my marriage. And I did not want to say, what if I want to go back and I'm talking to somebody, whatever. I didn't want to drag nobody in it. So I made sure by the time I reached out to him, I knew I was final and I was already in the process of my divorce. So me and him started talking. We hit off right away at July 4th, and we just talk. So one day he called me, and I missed his call. And I had it on my voicemail. What I do is, y'all know, I'm an STD Life Coach. I help women and men with herpes. So my whole thing, he was like, "Oh, what's up? What's up with what's up with your voicemail?" So I told him, and he was like, "What made you want to do that?" And I told him my story. I was like, "Hey, I contracted herpes at that time." 8 years ago. So I was just like, and he was like, okay, so what happened? All this stuff like that. I was like, well, basically what happened is, I was in college. I had sex with a guy, ended up having sex with this guy, turned around, I found I had herpes. But as y'all know my story, my first video, as y'all know, I did not contract the herpes from that guy. I contracted herpes from someone else. But at the end of the day, that's when I first learned that I had herpes, when I had sex with that guy. That's when I had my first initial outbreak. As we know, outbreaks can take 2 to 14 days after exposure, sometimes longer. The virus can be dormant, or you can have mild outbreaks and you don't know it, or never had an outbreak and now just triggering an outbreak like that. Okay, so at that time I told him, and he was like, what? And he got really quiet, guys. He got really quiet. And at the time, I'm like, okay, he seemed like a nice guy, whatever. I do want to get to know him on, like, oh my God, I want him to be boo. But it was more of it's good to talk to somebody and really get to know a person. And he was like, wow. He's like, well, I want to share something with you. I said, what? He was like, well, I had my baby mom's friend found out she had herpes and all this stuff. And, my homeboy wanted to talk to her. And I told him, don't talk to her and all this stuff because she had herpes. And he's like, we was younger then, but I made sure, to do my research and stuff like that. And, we talked about STDs. When the last time he got tested, when the last time I got tested. If he ever had an STD, he had told me he had ended up contracting chlamydia from a young lady he was messing with, and all this stuff like that. So he explained what he'd been through and stuff like that. So it was interesting because I was like, oh my God, like I didn't have to disclose. I kind of like voicemail disclosed for me, but he was like, that's interesting. So I asked him how he felt about it, felt about me being open with it. He was like, I don't have no problem with it. He's like, that's what you want to do. If we move forward, whatever, I got your back. Nobody dare not say anything about you about it. He's like, sadly say, I probably would never talk to anybody who had it, but the fact that you were so confident and the fact that you're helping other people with it, knew that, okay, I can trust her. Like the fact that she's fine with it, the fact that she knows her body, the fact that she's helping other people, that means I'm in a safe place dealing with her. So with that being said, just telling that story is the fact of how are you representing herpes? Like, we need to rebrand herpes. How are you representing herpes? Are you representing the way the stigma says that we're miserable and we're depressed and that, we're walking diseases and we're hoes and we, it's our fault and you knew what you were doing and you asked for it and you should be unhappy with your life? Are you displaying that, or are you going to rebrand herpes with me and show that I'm a regular person? I'm happy. I'm well off. Like, I'm successful. I'm living, I'm fine, hair laid, skin right, things like that. Like, what are you going to display? So when that person look at you, they're like, okay, well, they I guess ain't bothering them now. Okay, let me see if this is something I can handle. Or if a person walk away, that's fine. But how are you displaying it? But my whole thing, you are displaying how you feel. You're displaying how you think. And you wonder why nobody's staying around. You wonder why you're putting yourself in a corner because you're not happy. You're not happy, and you don't have to be unhappy. This is a choice. And y'all hear me say this all the time. You are where you are living with herpes because you choose to be there. Not because nobody put you there, because you choose to be there. Now, for my young ladies who are in domestic violence relationships, that's a little bit more complex, okay? Things like that where you're trying to get out. I will tell you now, find an exit strategy. There's many resources out here to help you get an exit strategy. I would never tell you just up and leave. You can't just up and leave. That puts you and your children, if you have any, at risk. Have an exit strategy. But for my young ladies who can just walk off, you have the strength to do whatever you need to do, and my guys as well, do it. And then on top of that, start working on yourself. The same way you worked on yourself when you were single, trying to get your stuff together, is the same thing you do with herpes. Get yourself back together, to get your mental state back together. Learn how to manage your body. Things like this. This is just like any other condition that you have. Many of you guys have other life-threatening conditions. This is not even life-threatening, guys. It's some people on here who got life-threatening conditions are living better lives than people who are completely healthy, because they learn how to manage it and they don't let it get the best of them. So with that being said, don't let this get the best of you. It don't have to get the best of you, but it all takes you accepting you. And what are you going to do to accept you? Are you just going to sit there and pity and don't do your research? Are you going to sit there and pity and just put yourself in a corner and don't go out no more? Are you going to stop going to the gym? Are you going to stop eating right? Are you going to stop working towards your goals? You going to quit school? You going to do all this stuff? And they're like, well, herpes did. No, herpes did not do that. You chose to do that. You chose to stop living your life. Nobody told you you had to do that. Nobody. I know people who got cancer. They're not stopping. They're not stopping. So why are you stopping? Your life ain't over. This is a choice that you're making. You don't have to make that choice. And I'm sure you're like, well, Belize, you don't understand. I do understand. I've been living with it for 9 years. I have heard every story in the book. That's not a reason to stay. It's not a reason. I'm not settling. It's not a reason. Do what's necessary. Get the resources. You have me. You have Hands. If y'all haven't heard about Hands, Hands is a new network for all the herpes activists here. It's about 19 of us in this Hands group. So my whole thing, look into Hands, Google it, and you can find a website that we're on, and you can find out all of the activists out here. So if you don't connect with me, it's so many other people and women, races, other countries, and things like that you connect with who are doing amazing things. So my whole thing is, it's resources. It's not a reason not for you. You know, it's no reason for you to be sitting in this. It's no reason. We're not in 2000. Let's be honest. We're not in 2000 where we didn't have Google, you know, where we didn't have YouTube. We're not in those times. So with that being said, guys, it's not an excuse for you to sit in it. It's not an excuse. Get the help that you need. But most importantly, get, what's the word? Check yourself. Check yourself. I mean, a lot of us want other people to check us. Check yourself. Say, hey, I don't like me right now. I don't like how I feel right now. So what are we going to do? Because at the end of the day, as much as you talk to me, if you talk to any other activists, you talk to your friends, you talk to your mama, you talk to your spouse, you talk to your baby daddy, you talk to your kids, it doesn't make a difference at the end of the day, because you got to make a decision to do the work. You got to make a decision to have the thoughts. You have to make a decision to check your emotions. You have to make the decision. Nobody else can do it to it. We can motivate you. We can inspire you. We can talk to our head bust. And that ain't going to make a difference until you do the work. So with that being said, guys, I want you to do the work. Do the work. Accept yourself with herpes. It is not as bad as we making it seem. Okay, I love y'all, but it don't have to be that way. And like I said, I know many of y'all not gonna agree with me. A lot of y'all are like, well, Belize, I'm still struggling. Then ask yourself why you still struggling. You've been watching my videos this long. Why are you still struggling? And it's sad because at the end of the day, it's many people that I have talked to for a long period of time and you still stuck. Why? I need you to seriously ask yourself, why are you still stuck? Why am I meeting people after you and you're still stuck? I know people who have been in worse situations. I'm talking to my people that I have talked to a long time. If you have been in my inboxes for a long time, if you have been in my group for a long time and you still have not accepted herpes, then it's you. It's not me. I have helped you. I have given you the resources. I have been up on the phones with y'all. I don't did support groups. I don't did videos. I don't did private videos. I don't just sat on and inbox you all night long. I don't talk on the phone with you all night long. It still have not did anything for you yet. It motivates you a little bit, gave you more information, but you still making the decision that you're not going to get over it yet. Ask yourself why. I have met people, like I said, worse than you off, and now they're in happy relationships. Happy. They don't disclose. Scariest thing they want to do, they disclose, and now they're in relationships, but you not in a relationship yet. It been 3, 4, 5, 6 years, and you still not in a relationship. Why is that when somebody just found out the virus just a couple months ago, and now they're in a relationship? It's the personal work. It's a decision that I'm not going to let this get me down. No, that's not saying that person's not sad. No, that's not saying that that person is not struggling with it still. But it is saying that the person accepted themselves and they accepted their situation and they said, I'm not going to let it keep me. So my whole thing is stop letting herpes keep you. It don't have to keep you. It don't. It's a choice. Everything we do is choices, guys. This is a huge choice. We had a choice when we had sex with a person. No, we didn't have the choice not knowing all the information we knew, but we did have a choice when we had sex with people. And we all know the risk that came in it. We knew I was at a 100%, let me be honest, 100% chance of probably getting the STD if I don't know what I know. I know my status. If I know my status and I don't know the other person's status, you're 100% at risk. And then on top of that, what if y'all do know both statuses, but y'all don't know proper testing protocol? So now, once again, y'all at 100% of being at risk. So my whole thing is, guys, we have to just accept what we know, accept what we didn't know, and accept where we can go from here. Herpes does not have to keep you. Herpes does not have to keep you in a bubble. Herpes doesn't have to keep you single. Herpes doesn't have to keep you without children. Herpes doesn't have to keep you from having a career or the finances that you want or traveling the world. It does not have to do any of that. That is something that you're choosing because you believe this is the end all of everything. And let me be honest, truthfully, it's never the main reason why you're stuck. There's many other things that may be going on. But if this is the main reason why you're stuck, get unstuck. You don't have to stay. But I need you to make the decision to move forward. And when you make that decision, then go get the help. But honestly, I'm going to be real with you. No point of getting help or deciding I'm going to talk to somebody, but you haven't made the decision that you want to fight through this thing. Many people seek out the help and you'll talk and I'm being honest, people be in my inbox all the time. Oh yeah, I want to get over it. And then 2 seconds later, 3 months later, a year later, 2 years later, she's still stuck. Because she never made a decision to get out, or he never made a decision to get out. But you talk to me and I have helped you. I have pushed you through. I don't told you different things to do. You don't been in other activist inboxes and then all of us have pretty much told you the same thing. But the only common denominator is you. What do they say? Do the work. Accept it. Accept it. Accept it. Just that simple. Just accept it. No, you don't want to, but you have no choice. I'm being honest. You have no choice. It's the same way when you're in a relationship and you realize the relationship over. You got no choice but to accept that the relationship is over. It's over. Just the same way, but that's the difference with us. We can accept that we have herpes, but we don't have to accept that our life is over, because it's not. Life is not over. You can have everything you want plus some. I'm telling y'all, don't let other people who are living with worse off conditions outlive you. I'm being honest. Don't let them outlive you. It's no reason why, quote unquote, and I see this on comments all the time, and I don't really like this comment, is, well, at least it's not HIV. Well, people I know living with HIV living better with people than herpes. I mean, they living good, baby. They married. They got kids. Their careers are bomb. They traveling. They living it up. They taking their medicine and living. And they partner ain't even got the virus and ain't even taking PrEP because they undetectable now. Which you still should be taking PrEP. Quote, quote. I would still suggest you take PrEP, okay? But they did what they need to do and they accepted themselves and they living their lives. Living it. So, quote unquote, at least it ain't HIV. Well, at least if it was HIV, they living. They living. They got to do way more than we have to do, guys. 10 times more work. I know because my friend Nikki, reach out to Nikki J. But she has HIV. She was my college, was my when I first went to college, she was my roommate, but she's also my best friend. She found out at 18 that she had HIV. So my whole thing, but she's living. Very great career. She's a nurse. She have her own business. She wrote her book. She's married, been married for a couple of years now. So my whole thing, and was able to still pull dudes, even with her status, and telling them. So my whole thing, if it can't keep her, why is herpes keeping you? You keeping you. You keeping you. You holding yourself back. You. Nobody else is you. So today I need you to look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, look, we want to live. So you going to go with me or you going to have to go without me. But I am going. Bury the emotions. Your emotions going to be up and down. I have days. I have emotions like, oh my God, will I get married again? Do I even want to have children again? Do I want to go through the things, thinking about it? What if my partner get it? Guys, I think these things too, but I don't let them keep me and I don't keep dwelling, because at the end of the day, I'm going to be honest. My track record is 10 times better than my thoughts. I fought it all. So my whole thing is make your track record, your actions, better than your thoughts. Prove yourself wrong. Oh, you can't get no man? Oh, okay. Get on out here and start dating. Get on out here and start dating. Get on Tinder. Get on Plenty of Fish. Get on Positive Singles. Start talking to people. Get out here. Oh no, you say you want to go to school and herpes stopped. You had to get out of school from it. Girl, get back in school and kill it. Get on the dean's list. Don't play with it. Say, herpes, you ain't going to keep me from getting what I desire. You're not going to keep me to getting from what I deserve. And that is happiness in the life that I want to live. No virus, no nothing can keep you. It's only you. It's people out here who don't have arms and legs. It's people out here who don't have a full brain or not even mentally functioning. But they do what they need to do and they try to live the best life that they can for them based off their means. So my whole thing to say, you, nothing but a virus that we have that comes and goes, that you can take medicine if you choose to or not, that you're not living your life. Think about it. Love y'all.